Interesting. All right, I'm going to keep an eye on this. Oh, we do have another caster joining us, and I know this caster, and I have him on my friends list. But this caster, despite being on my friends list, is not appearing online, and his stream isn't live. So I'm gonna have to do something about this after this game. As we are getting into this and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Alpha X. Ooh, patiently waiting in the quarterfinals for a little bit. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Classic. So we are joined by the German caster RagnaroK, or at least he says he is RagnaroK, but I'm looking at his Twitch stream and he's offline. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that maybe his Twitch stream is gonna go live a little bit late. But if his stream doesn't go live, then I will be letting the admins know, because we have had issues in the past about gamblers or Korean bettors sneaking into lobbies, impersonating casters, and pretending to get in just so they get past the delay, and they do get an advantage in the Korean betting sites because of that. So yeah. We'll have to get on top of that after this game and make sure there's no shady business going on. Because again, we've had that happen before, and we want to make sure that that doesn't happen again. So here we go. And, you know, despite all that, we are now in a game, beautiful game of StarCraft, and we do have our openers coming on out here. Hatch Gas Pool from RagnaroK. Gate Expand from Classic as well, but we're on Neo Humanity, a very unique map, a very different map, a map that we are not used to be honest. Really interesting, really interesting. And I'm just checking his YouTube channel to see if he's live on YouTube instead. Yeah, no, he's not. shaking my head. All right. Anyway, yeah, we're on Neo Humanity, which is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. We rarely see this map outside of the Korean weeklies. I don't know what it is about the Koreans, but they are not afraid. They are willing to partake in the craziness that is Neo Humanity, that is altitude. They have no fear, and that's why I love them so much. That's why we get to see some of these more unorthodox maps, so it's great to see, We do see Classic once again going for a Stargate opener here in his main. RagnaroK just Hatch Gas Pool going for his third base as well. Nothing too crazy to kick things off. At least RagnaroK was forced to take the unnatural natural. Oh, and because of that, the Adept is going to be able to slip in between the bases and be a little bit annoying. Going to be shading up into the main to try and wreak a little bit of havoc. Oh, does commit to the shade, but the Lings were ready and waiting for him, and yo, they dive on top of the Adept immediately. The Adept is gonna go down without getting any damage whatsoever. Very nicely done by RagnaroK. Was lying in wait with his Lings and did punish that Adept. Meanwhile, across the map, Classic is mixing things up. Despite the Stargate opener, we do not have an Oracle. We have a Void Ray instead. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. So yeah, we are mixing things up here for Classic. With this Void Ray, we're going to be able to clean up some Overlords. We're going to be able to deny a lot of the vision here of RagnaroK. Just messaging some people. Beautiful. Just messaging some people. It's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. as we haven't really missed anything really of note. We do see the first Oracle going across the map, but it does get fended off here by the Queens. They were in position, and RagnaroK does defend his mineral lines. This Oracle hasn't, well, it did get one drone kill at least, but we only made a single Oracle. Again, the reason for this is because, or the reason for the opener here is ideally the Void Ray clears out the Overlords. It clears any suspicion of an Oracle opener, and then we go into the Oracle anyway. It's a little bit later, but it is offbeat, it is off timing, designed to catch RagnaroK off balance. But mate, RagnaroK, he is always off balance. He's he's imba, Bobby. He's imba. He's one of the more crazy aggressive Zerg players out there. So he shuts down the Oracle. He gets a kill, by the way, on the Oracle as well. Classic having a really hard time with his harassment here. It gets shut down at every turn, and RagnaroK has been free to expand, to drone up. He's taking 5 gases right now. That's a lot of gas, and he's going straight for that lair as well. Curious if he's just gonna hammer down that roach key, go for +1 range, go for a bit of a timing here instead. Oh, meanwhile, massive shout out to Iceguard in the chat there. Gracias, papi. Thank you so much for the sub. 1 for each month. Gracias. Quack, papi, quack. Thank you so much. For those who don't know, Iceguard, he is the lovely admin for ESL Open Cup Asia. He is one of the ESL admins. He's amazing. He's beautiful. You love to see him. You love to see him. Oh. Pa la galera, papi. Pa la galera. Oh boy. All right. Well, from here, I was very curious as to any kind of timing push for that RagnaroK was setting up. We do have +1 range on the way, but the Queens are waddling across the map. This is actually a really interesting kind of route to take, to be honest, because the rocks have been left unbroken. Usually we break through the rocks and we just go straight through the center of the map. Normally we go straight through the center of the map, but instead RagnaroK is going to be laying siege upon this third base instead. A very peculiar angle. We do have Storm to defend, but Storm against Queens and Roaches is not really what you want whatsoever. We are going to be reinforcing with Lings. +1 melee is on the way. Oh. And Classic is preparing as best he can here. He's getting more cannons, more shield batteries as well. RagnaroK, though, he can divert his attention over here towards the left-hand side instead. Oh, here we go. The Queens are waddling on in. This base is exposed, though. I love this. So RagnaroK, he feigns aggression, or he does commit to the aggression here at the at the third, to be fair, but the fourth is the real target. We have an overcharge. The overcharge is not going to be enough. The base is getting surrounded. We do have some storms on the Queens, but the transfuse is just too good. The storms tickle them. And the fourth is going to be going down. Ravagers are going to be catching something. The Stalkers are catching the Ravagers, so a decent trade from Classic. But again, these storms, you don't want to be wasting them on these Queens. RagnaroK already dealt the damage that he was looking for. He wanted the base. And behind this, we're just taking up even further. We just keep switching techs time and time again. We went for a Queen Ravager push, and we're going into Ling Muta. My God. Oh. All right, here we go. The Mutas are going into the main base. They get 5 probe kills. They get a High Templar as well. Oh, no, no! No, the Storms do a little bit of friendly fire on the probes. Oh, and the Mutas are able to dance between them. Classic was not ready for the Muta switch whatsoever. Ay, ay, ay. 21 probes go down. Behind this, Roach speed is on the way, so RagnaroK is getting ready to switch back into Roaches after this if he needs to. The Muta count, though, continues to rise. Lings are rushing across the map as well. The fourth once again exposed. And the fourth is going to be cancelled. Ooh. For the second time. Ooh. Cancelled for the first time. Killed for the first time as well. The Muta's going back into the main. This time the Stalkers are in position. This time Classic is ready for it, but he is crumbling at the seams here. He's barely holding onto his 3 bases. He's barely keeping up with these Mutas, and RagnaroK has so much control in this game. He's got his 4th, he's got his 5th, he's up to 82 workers. The way that he's been able to just pull Classic apart, it's crazy. It's actually crazy. The creep still not receding. Boys are pulled to clear out these creep tumors. Oh, Snake. Snake is there as well. As again, the Mutas really, they're just designed to distract here as the Lings go for a massive run by at the 3rd base. The Mutas are not just distracting, they get 10 workers, 11 workers, and they get the Void Ray as well. Oh boy. And we are, yeah, we're just pulling Classic apart. Oh my god. Oh my god, the amount of damage here is insane. Classic is going to be forced all in at this point. He barely has any economy to speak of. He's going to be continuing to push across the map instead. But the Lings are going to keep him back home. He just can't move. He can't do anything, Papi. The Mutas, they take down every single building. They depower all of the gateways. And Classic, what you see is what you get. This is all we have to work with. And he's just, again, distracted by the Lings. Oh, God. The Storms. He gets the Archon as well. Ugh. The Natural's on fire. The main is on fire. The 3rd is the only thing mining right now. And only the 3rd. And Classic, to be fair, he does have a pretty large army. You know, this is pretty scary. He's got a lot of Storms. He's got a lot of Stalkers as well. He is all in with this push. He's going to be able to take down these Spine Crawlers, take down the Hatchery as well. Spines are being thrown down left and right. RagnaroK, he knows all he has to do is defend. But can he? Ooh, a very crucial blink here from Classic. He's going to be able to take down all these Spine Crawlers. RagnaroK is maxed out right now. He's going for the base trade. He's going for the elimination. He's crazy. I don't know if this is the wise move. Oh, but we have Lurkers at home to defend. We have no detection. Oh my god. 0 detection here, if I'm not mistaken. We have Storms that can help. But, yeah, the Observer's back at home. There's nothing else left here. Oh. Every other building is going down. This is giving Classic, like, the best chance, I guess. Technically. He's down to a single base. But more Lurkers are coming out, and yeah, right now he can just come back home. He can just come back home and he can fight this, to be honest. The Storms are being wasted on the Lings and the Hydras, and the Mutas will come in and clean up. Classic fighting his heart out. But GG gets called, and RagnaroK will take game number 1. GG, well played. Ooh, and we are now getting into game number 2. And yeah, we do have confirmation. The person that was in this game earlier was a fake caster. Yeah, we're just letting them know. All right, there we go. We got him banned. All good, all good. So yeah, shout out to Icecar in the chat. Shout out to Sinistro as well. Shout out to the ESL admins as they were notified to what was going on. Shout out to Madalekos as well. Fun fact, I'm pretty familiar with Madalekos, the real German caster, and I was messaging him. I'm like, hey, what's up? And he's like, mate, I'm coming home. What's going on? What's up, man? I'm like, mate, there's someone pretending to be you, Poppy. But it's all good. The admins were on top of it, and the imposter has been removed, and now we can very calmly, very comfortably get into this series. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. There we go. No harm, no foul. The issue's been dealt with. We can focus on this lovely StarCraft before us, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Babylon, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing Alpha X. It is RagnaroK. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have representing Mystery Gaming, Classic. And speaking of, giving a shout out to not just the ESL admins, the ESL organizers, but also a shout out to Patty Mac. Oh my god, Papi. Thank you so much, Patty Mac. Thank you so much for the raid. We appreciate the support. The ex-CranKy Duckling. Ah, mijito. I hope you had a great stream. I hope you had a great ladder session. I saw you, I think your stream title was a StarCraft Pro Gamer cosplayer. I hope you had a lot of fun, man. I hope you had a great time, and welcome everyone. Welcome to ESL Open Cup Asia, the weekly ESL Asia tournament, where we are here mid-series, where RagnaroK is currently leading said series in the quarterfinals. I have to less than 3, Puck. You have to less than 3. All right, here we go. Well, it looks like as well, it looks like some of the other matches have finished up, and we're being joined by some of the other casters as well, and we'll see how this will progress as we have a hatch gas pool once again from RagnaroK, standard opener from Classic as well, going for a gate expand, so nothing crazy in the early game, but it was the mid game where RagnaroK was crazy. Again, I apologize for being a little bit distracted in the middle of game 1, and you know, there were other things happening, so I couldn't quite focus on the game itself, but there was that Queen Ravager walk across the map over on the right-hand side of Neo Humanity as we Ling flooded the 4th base and we transitioned into mutas to force the base trade into mass muta, just pulling Classic apart, then transitioning into lurkers defensively back at home to defend against the all-in. RagnaroK, this is what is amazing about him, like his ability to tech switch, his ability to be able to have so much maneuverability and be so like pliable, like he's so flexible, you know, he's crazy. Oh, he has no bones, Papi, he just bends. It's really impressive, and it's really chaotic, and it's really difficult to play against. Like Classic was all over the place, like not in a good way either. He was frazzled, definitely. Oh, and a lot of that also, it's not just that he's crazy, it also comes down to the fact that if you remember, every form of Classic's aggression in the early game, whether it's his oracles, his adepts as well, he got one drone. Like, he didn't really get many worker kills at all. Like, he was getting shut down at every turn. RagnaroK's queen control and his Ling positioning was just so on point in the early game of game number 1. But now, we're getting into game number 2. Oh, and the first adept already going down. Does get one drone for its troubles. We do have a Stargate opener once again. This time we are not going for a Void Ray first. This time it is an Oracle. Oh. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. To have that Oracle first, a second Oracle behind this. So again, from Classic, everything is looking quite standard here, especially compared to Neo Humanity. Makes sense. You do have to adapt your openers on Neo Humanity just because it is a smaller map, just because it is one of the more unorthodox maps in the map pool. So you do have to respect it. And yeah, Classic just being very defensive here. His first Oracle sticking around to make sure that the 3rd base is up on time, is actually up and running. Second Oracle on the way as well. And with this second Oracle, Classic can start to move out across the map and deal some damage. The Lings are here and they're going to force these Oracles to stay at home a little bit longer. But with the 3rd Oracle on the way, Classic, he's safe to move out. Oh, meanwhile, back at home, is RagnaroK ready for this? We have a Spore in the main, we have a Spore on the way at the natural, and a Spore already done at the third. So RagnaroK is taking this very seriously, and it looks like despite that, he's going to be losing a couple of these drones. 3, 4, 5 drones go down. Ooh, from these oracles. RagnaroK is going to try and catch an oracle, though, towards the end, and it looks like he will get one oracle. Oof. So overall, I don't know if that was really worth it for Classic. It was some nice drone damage for sure, but to lose an oracle for 5 drones, ideally you want a little bit more than that. Especially because ideally you keep the oracles. No, no! We're on an A move! Oh my god. Classic just barely escaping there, but taking again a lot of damage. Just, yeah, not as attentive with that oracle, just leaving it idle for a moment. Punished for it. The thing that saved this oracle was the fact that RagnaroK didn't have high ground vision. If he had a unit here on the high ground, that oracle would be dead. Ay, ay, ay. Ugh. And now that these oracles have taken so many hits, it's going to be that much harder to go for any kind of dive. Once again, Queen's in position, fending off the oracle. Back at home, we're transitioning into Twilight Council and Forge. As to be expected, we're going for that hero-style triple oracle into Blinkstalker. Meanwhile, RagnaroK is actually cutting drones pretty early. Instead of droning up further, up to like 66 and getting a 4th base, we are cutting drones at 51. We've got a Dropper Lord on the way. Mate, RagnaroK is going for a massive Queen Roach Ravager push. The Lings have been revealed, but the Roaches haven't been spotted. We have another hatchery on the way. The Roaches are doing the best job here to try and stay hidden from these oracles. RagnaroK wants to hide the all-in. 22 Lings are on the way, by the way. RagnaroK is very committed. And Classic doesn't know. He's got 1 shield battery. He has no idea. He sees the Lings for sure, but he doesn't know about the Roaches. He doesn't know that the Queens are being sent across the map. Oh my god. Lings are going to force a reaction here at the natural base. They're forcing a rotation from the army. The oracles are turning back around. Oh, they do realize that something is wrong, and here we go. RagnaroK finally reveals his army. He comes in from behind. The Stalkers are getting surrounded. The shield battery goes down immediately. There won't be an overcharge. The Queens get dropped. Oh, but the Overlord was focused down. So only 2 Queens made it out, but GG gets called. RagnaroK does a great job at hiding the all-in, and he will take the series at 2-0. Wow. GG. Hold on. I'm waiting for the... GG. Well played. RagnaroK does take the series 2-0 in a pretty commanding fashion. Again, it was so important for RagnaroK to hide those Roaches, to hide his reinforcing Lings. He even kept his Queens at bay as well, making it look like he was expanding and taking a 4th base. And even though Classic saw all those Lings, he only saw Lings, and that is not enough of a tell to really persuade him that an all-in is coming, that he needs to be preparing back at home for a massive push. So very well hidden build from RagnaroK, and unfortunately, because of that lack of information, Classic wasn't able to prepare himself in time. GG. GG. Yeah, with that, congratulations to, of course, RagnaroK for advancing on forward to the semifinals, and we will have a bit of a gander. We'll have a peek at what player he's going to be going up against next.